Hey everybody, welcome back. So tonight we have our top 5 bourbons of 2024. Now you're not going to see anything allocated on this list because we don't have any kind of crazy hookup to buy allocated bottles, and that's just the way it is, but that's okay. There's still a lot of great stuff that average people like you and us can buy. So okay, so the first one on our list, our number 5, is the Jimmy Russell 70th anniversary release of Wild Turkey 101. Now, this one, what I appreciated is it was widely available. The price was right, 50 bucks. It was a very good bottle. And we could all, I'm just thinking most people could probably find this. So we went through, these bourbons. We got our notes. The things that we liked about this one, I'll just say for myself, like the nose was like rich caramel, oak, some slight citrus, some cacao. I don't know, what did you get for the nose?
For me, the nose was just really clear, really fresh, kind of woodsy. I wasn't getting anything that you were, but I just liked how clear and woodsy it was, and fresh, and made me want to sip.
Yeah, it's a delicious pour.
Yeah.
I said it before, I think this is what Wild Turkey 101 should be, is this bottle. So that like rich caramel and oak that I got on the nose really came through on the palate, but also I really picked up a lot of that good oak spice and tingle and cinnamon, which makes sense because this is 8 and 9-year-old bourbon in this bottle. And that the finish was just like a delicious like oak char, and for some reason I was getting like faint lemon zest on this one.
Yeah. I got a lot of the oak spice, but I was also picking up some vanilla, and I love that.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like a nice, delightful, sweet treat. I could see this being one that I would want to sip if I'm not in any particular mood. I just want something enjoyable, something I can rely on and know that it's going to be delicious. This is what I would want to pick up.
Yeah. So hopefully most of you were able to get this bottle. We were, and we live in a liquor control state. So if we can get it, I kind of figure most everyone else can get it too. So, all right. Our number 4 is Eagle Rare 10-year, but this isn't just any ordinary 10-year. This is the one that I double oaked in one of our full-size mini barrels for, I think it was about 2 months. And it did go up in proof to about like 94 proof. But man, the flavors it developed were so good. Like, what did you get on the nose?
On the nose, I was picking up almost exclusively caramel. And that could have just been me in the mood for a sweet treat. But normally with Eagle Rare, I get something more vanilla cherry. This time, caramel was just punching me in the nose. I loved it.
Yeah.
It was good.
And for me, I definitely did get that cherry that I typically will get with an Eagle Rare, but it was like a pungent sour cherry to me. And with like, I don't know, it smelled like wet oak shavings is how I would describe it. It was very good. And the palate, it was like liquored dark cherries, like really dark cherries, and also dark chocolate and very toasted oak. It was super yummy on the palate for me. How about you?
I got similar. It was a very kind of toasted cinnamon cherry is what I got. It's amazing.
Yeah. And the finish, it was like charred cherry skins is what I got on the finish. Obviously, a lot of great oak spice. These particular lids, I roasted them at 400 degrees for 3 hours. So there's a lot of like rich, dark oak flavor that comes through, and it just worked with Eagle Rare 10-year really, really well. Our number 3, another Wild Turkey product. This is not just any Wild Turkey 101. No, this is a Wild Turkey 101 that I aged for 9 weeks in one of our full-size mini barrels. It's a blend of the one that had the one lid toasted to 285 degrees and the other lid was 400 degrees. And I ended up blending them together. This thing was just tons of toasted marshmallows and dark chocolate liqueurs. Like, you know those like dark chocolate
Yes.
things you can get?
Yeah.
They have like that gooey kind of liqueur inside. On the nose, that's what I got. I don't know, how about you?
I got straight up vanilla bean on the nose. Like
Yeah.
you cut open a vanilla bean and that's it. It was perfect. And I got, vanilla too in our in this one. And so
Yeah.
something in there is kicking out vanilla to me. I just that one, the nose, straight up vanilla bean.
For sure. Now that toasted marshmallow definitely carried into the palate, but I also put that it reminded me of like those vanilla wafers, like Nilla wafer, you know, that and oak crisps is what I got on it. It's like the way that it transformed Wild Turkey 101, putting it in one of the full-size mini barrels, it blew my mind.
Incredible.
Wild Turkey products do very well in a full-size mini barrel. I'll just say that. Like, if you haven't seen some of our other videos we had some blinds. Like this absolutely took out 4 Roses, Small Batch Select, things like that. So, and the finish on this thing, that's where the caramel started coming through for me. I started like the marshmallow kind of and vanilla kind of changed into like a caramel, like a rich caramelized oak toasted baking spice. And I even got some like faint espresso bean on the finish of this one. It really added to the complexity doing double oaking it.
Yeah, I got a lot of like a vanilla maple syrup with,
I could see that.
Clove and cinnamon. So syrupy, so good.
Yeah, delicious.
So warm. It's warming.
Yeah. So our number 2, the East Side 12 year. So East Side is an Oregon distillery that sources their bourbon. This is 12 years old and it is double oaked in Oregon oak barrels and it's bottled at 110 proof. At least right now in the state of Oregon, it's $60 a bottle. Probably the best value that I can think of in our state right now for a bourbon. It's phenomenal whiskey. Like it reminds me of like a Russell's Reserve or like older MGP bourbon. I'm not sure what's in it. If anyone knows, let me know, but it's phenomenal. Like on the nose of this, I'm getting like rich, dark nougat, brandied plums, and like a Christmas cake. It's so delicious. It's so wonderful. How about you?
The nose on this one took me somewhere. I even wrote on my notes, like, I can't concentrate. I cannot nose this and concentrate. It hits me a certain way. I love this one. So literally on the nose, I just said sugar and warmth. Can't concentrate. It took me somewhere. I went somewhere else in my mind. It was too good.
And I will say, if you've had this or if you have a bottle, when we first got it, I was like, oh, this is pretty good, but I wasn't too sure. But once we drank it down to about here and I let it sit, like shouldered it, and this thing opens up remarkably well. Like the palate, I got just toffee, brown sugar, those same brandied plums, like dark plums and Christmas cake and stewed peaches on the palate. And the finish, I think it's from, double oaking in Oregon oak. It's like a very earthy, like oak, like if you, I don't know, like cleared some property and you had some Oregon oak you cleared and then you had like a burn pile and you burned it and like it dries the earth, but that oak smell is still there. It's like that. I put perfect cinnamon and nutmeg and lingering cacao nibs. It's hard to describe this whiskey because it is an experience. Like Chanel said, it takes you somewhere. It's phenomenal. What did you get on the palate on that thing?
I got similar to you. For me, it was kind of like a blackberry cinnamon allspice. It's been sugared and caramelized, kind of like the toffee you were,
Yeah.
explaining. And it really is an experience. Everything is well balanced. It's not overly sweet. It's not overly spiced. It's perfectly balanced.
Yeah, it is. If you can get this bottle, do it. It's remarkable. Best $60 bottle of bourbon I've ever bought, really. Yeah. Okay, so our number one is Wild Turkey Rare Breed. But not just any Wild Turkey Rare Breed. This bad boy is 122 proof, and it's double oaked in one of our full-size mini barrels. This thing, there's something about Wild Turkey in one of those full-size mini barrels that just works. So on the nose, this one I just wrote down creme brulee and toasted oak. I mean, and potent. Just so good. What did you get on the nose on this one?
Fried ice cream.
Yeah.
I just got fried ice cream, which for me is a cherished childhood memory.
Yeah.
But yeah, fried ice cream.
Yeah.
All the way on the nose.
So that creme brulee and toasted oak, like once it gets to your palate, it's an explosion of those flavors. It's so intense. And then like this fiery cinnamon, dark chocolate, and like musty almond skins is how I would describe it. It's like a sensory overload. It's so good.
It's really
so
good.
What did you get on the palate?
It's like a dessert to me. I sipped that and I felt like I was just having a really yummy sweet treat. So I've got dark chocolate on top of vanilla ice cream, cinnamon sprinkled on top. I mean, to me, it tastes like a sundae.
Yeah.
Dark chocolate, yummy sundae.
It's special.
Yeah.
The finish for this, so if you have watched our channel for any length of time, you know that I love a good finish. To me, that's the hallmark of a very good whiskey in general, if the finish is long and complex. And this thing, man, you want to talk about a finish. I wrote long oak spice, baking spices, cinnamon, every kind of spice. It just lingers and lingers and lingers. It's amazing. One of the best finishes I've had in a bourbon is with this. Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
That was my favorite of our lineup. I just,
definitely,
it does everything right.
Yeah. So, as you can see, I mean, I said nothing was allocated. Maybe for some people, the Eagle Rare might be allocated. For us, Eagle Rare 10 years, not difficult to get, in particular stores. So, but if you've not tried the full-size mini barrel, and I'm not talking about the little like oak barrels. We get a stainless Bain Marie container, and check out the description of this video. There's like a link to where there's videos you can make these lids yourselves, or you can get it from us, and there's links to the Bain Marie containers we use and the barrel wax we use. I'm telling you, like, if you're lamenting not getting like allocated bourbons, don't. If you put this Rare Breed Wild Turkey 101, there's other ones, this Eagle Rare, into one of these full-size mini barrels, it will blow your mind how good they get. I mean, they are phenomenal. So, okay, let us know what you thought of our top 5 bourbons of 2024 and what some of your top bourbons of 2024 were. Okay, so stick around. The next video will be our top 5 rye whiskeys of 2024.